Hi, this is Peter from Posa Labs, and in this video I will show you the dApp that we've developed for December edition of the Superfluid Hackathon. This month we've decided to do yet another front end for one of the super examples, and that is for the instant distribution intro. We've modified this example quite a bit to exactly show how powerful and capable the Superfluid protocol is. So let's jump straight into it. Firstly, let me explain what an instant distribution agreement, or an IDA for short, actually is. You can use an IDA if you want to send funds from one account to multiple accounts all in one go. The benefit in using IDA is twofold. First of all, this one transaction comes at a fixed gas cost, no matter how many receivers you have. It's all in one transaction. And the second benefit is that if you set up the receivers, you can reuse that setup over and over again, so you also save time. So, to summarize, an IDA not only saves you money by saving gas, but it also saves you time. And since time is money, it saves you money squared. So, let's go through an example to have a better understanding of how it works under the hood. So let's imagine you have an account A over here, and you want to send $500 to three different accounts: account X, account Y, and account Z. You want to send $100 to the first account and $200 to the two second accounts. The first step is to create an IDA or an IDA index. Then you transfer the funds that you want to distribute to that index and call the distribute function of the IDA. Then the receivers get the funds according to the units or the shares of the IDA that they hold. So for example, this guy holds 5 units and he gets $100, and those two guys each hold 10 units, so they both get $200. Let's imagine that we had a fourth account here that would have 25 units. The distribution of those funds is calculated based on the total amount of all the units that all the subscribers hold. So let's say that this fourth account would hold 25 units. Then we would have 50 units altogether, right? So we have 5 here and 10 here and 10 here, so that's 25. And this fourth account would also have 25, so that would be 50 altogether. And this fourth account would have half of all the units. So that would mean from each distribution, this fourth account would get also the half of all the funds because it holds half of the units. Right. So now let me show you the actual dApp. The first step that you need to do is to create an agreement. You do that by clicking on this button and filling out this form. You list the addresses of your subscribers. For that purpose, I've prepared those two guys. So this guy who, let's say, gets 2 shares, and this guy who we can give just 1 share, or let's give him 3 shares and him 1 share. So after you do that, you can of course add multiple subscribers, but we're just gonna create an index with 2 for now, and we will create the agreement. So because we've added 2 subscribers and we're creating an index, that means we're gonna have 3 interactions with our MetaMask, with our wallet. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So the first one, as I've explained, is creating this account, this box here, and the other one is assigning the units to those 2 different accounts, the subscriber 1 and the subscriber 2. All right, so that went through. Now we're gonna assign the shares or the IDA units to the first subscriber. And then to the second one. Okay, that went through. So now let's give the second subscriber the units that we've specified for him. Okay, so once we've created our agreement, we can see it in the list of our agreements down here. So now let's top up our index so that we have some actual funds that are gonna get distributed among our subscribers. Once I hit the confirm button, I get another MetaMask prompt with just a vanilla usual ERC20 transfer function under the hood. I hit confirm. And once that goes through, we can see that the balance of the index has updated and that there are 400 fake DAI on that index. So now, before we distribute our assets, there is one more thing that we need to consider. Our subscribers need to approve their subscriptions. So each one of those accounts, in order to get the funds, needs to approve the subscription, but they need to do that only once. It is also possible to send the funds before they approve the subscription, but they would only get it after they actually do that. And I'm gonna show that as well in a second. So let's just take this guy, the sub1 account, and let's approve our subscription. And then I'm not gonna approve the second one, just so that you see what's happening. Right, so now I've switched our account. You can see that this account also owns some agreements, but we are now interested in its subscriptions. And this is our latest one. They're also ordered from the latest at the top. And you see that I need to approve the subscription. So once again, MetaMask opens and I confirm it. Okay, so once the subscription approval has gone through, you can see that I have the option of revoking it. And yeah, if I, for whatever reason, no longer wish to be a subscriber of an IDA, I always have the option to revoke it. So now let me just show you how that works. It's pretty straightforward. So let me quickly approve this one and then revoke it straight after. Okay, I've made the approval and now I'm going to revoke it. Okay, I've revoked it, and now this means that this index that I was previously subscribed to, I am no longer subscribed to. Okay, so now that our subscription is approved, let me switch back to our owner and distribute the funds. And please note that this account at the moment has 0 DAI. I mean, there is some dust left over, but it's just half a DAI. So now when I switch back to our owner account and I go to the owner tab, let's say the time has come and that I want to distribute all the funds. Or maybe not all of them, I just want to distribute, let's say 100. That is another feature that we've built in. You can actually choose the amount that is going to get distributed. So you don't need to distribute all of them. You can only distribute some percentage. So let's say we will distribute just 100 and the first subscriber will get this much and the second guy will get this much. So once I confirm it, the distribution goes through. I hit confirm. The transaction went through and I see that the balance of the index has updated and it's now a 100 less. So now let's switch to our first guy, just so that I can show you that he has actually received the funds. sub 1. And yes, he has received 75 DAI because he had three units in that index. So the total amount was 4 units, and 3/4 is equal to 75%. And since we were sending 100 DAI, he got 75% of that, which is 75 DAI. So everything checks out. Now let's switch over to our second subscriber. And yes, indeed, let's connect with our dApp. And now you can see that he has also some two subscriptions, but none of them are approved. And if I now just show you the balance of this user, you can see that he has just some 3 DAI. But if I accept or approve this subscription, again, this is sorted from latest at the top, so I'm pretty confident that this is the one that we've created, also because he has 25% of it. And confirm the subscription, and it goes through. You can now see when I check the balance of our second subscriber that he actually has the 25 DAI that he now got after approving his subscription. Right. So now if I quickly change the view back to the owner, I just want to show you one last neat feature. And the owner tab, you have the overview of the agreements, and you can edit an agreement. You can add subscriber, and you see that you also have the view of who has approved the IDA subscription and who has not yet done that. So for example, if I want to add another subscriber, the default is this hourglass, which means that he has to do some action that it's not approved. Another neat feature that we do is that we implement is that if you accidentally copy the same address into this subscriber box, it tells you, watch out, this subscriber already exists, and it's not possible to add the same guy twice. It just wouldn't make sense. Right, so let's just add some third guy, and let's also give him 1 unit, and you can see how the shares of all the other guys change proportionally, because now we have 5 shares in total, and he has 1/5, he has 1/5, and he has 3/5. So that comes up to those percentages. And if I change it again, it also changes back to whatever that comes up to. Right, so now I can edit the agreement. And once I have that, and once the transaction comes through, you can see that now my IDA has 3 subscribers, 2 of which are approved, and 1 of them is not approved. So now I can do that same thing again. I can distribute my assets and set it to the amount that I wish, for example, 300, and have it displayed really nicely how much each of them is getting and how much funds is left over in the index. And one last feature that I wanted to show you is that you can also, of course, delete a subscriber. You do that by clicking on that big red X down here. And what that does, it also recalculates the total number of shares that each of the other remaining subscribers still have. So once they do that, you see that the total changed to 4 shares, and now this guy has 25% of all the shares, and this guy again has 75% of all the shares. So now I just need to click on Edit Agreement to save that, and let me just skip the waiting part. Right, so the transaction has been confirmed now, and if I click on the edit agreement button again, I still see the same form with the adjusted shares, and I can still add another subscriber. All right, so that have been all the major features that I wanted to show you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more superfluid content.